Welcome to CARICOMP Insider, where high-tech facial recognition meets real-world intelligence.
Seconds of audio. That's all it took. According to McAfee researchers, 3 seconds of someone's voice, a single hello on a phone call, was enough to build a clone that matched the original speaker at 95% accuracy. Not in a lab, not with expensive equipment, with tools anyone can access online. French authorities are now warning the public about a surge in what they call silent calls. Your phone rings. Nobody speaks. You say hello, maybe twice, and the line goes dead. That wasn't a glitch. According to a report from the Seoul Economic Daily citing Bitdefender's security analysis, scammers are using those robocalls to harvest just enough voice data to feed an AI cloning tool. The cloned voice might not show up for weeks or months in a call to your bank, your employer, your family. If you've ever picked up an unknown number and said a single word, this story is already about you. And the question running underneath all of it is this: if a voice can be copied that easily, what does it even mean to recognize someone anymore? Start with the number that matters most. McAfee's team found that just a handful of short audio files, we're talking seconds, not minutes, produced a voice clone that hit 85% similarity on the first pass. With a little more training of the model, that jumped to 95%. 95% means most people listening wouldn't notice a difference. And the data backs that up. A peer-reviewed study published through the National Institutes of Health found that people are, in their words, poorly equipped to detect AI-powered voice clones. When the audio quality was high, human detection accuracy dropped below 25%. That means 3 out of 4 times, a person hearing a cloned voice believed it was real. Separately, a global survey found that 7 out of 10 people said they weren't confident they could tell a cloned voice from the genuine article. Our ears are not built for this. Now, some security researchers push back on the silent call angle. They argue a quick hello isn't really enough material to clone someone convincingly. But McAfee's own data contradicts that. 3 seconds was their threshold, and hello said twice on an open line clears it. The debate isn't whether the technology works. It's that the technology has gone from edge case experiment to routine fraud tool. And law enforcement is feeling it. According to SQ Magazine's reporting on fraud statistics, agencies have seen roughly a 40% jump in investigations tied to AI-generated fraud. But only about a third of organizations have deployed AI-based voice fraud detection. That leaves a massive gap. Most investigators are still relying on caller ID verification and their own judgment, tools designed for a world where voices couldn't be manufactured on demand. For anyone who's ever had to verify identity over the phone, and that's nearly all of us, that gap matters. Your bank calls to confirm a transaction. A family member calls asking for help. A colleague leaves a voicemail authorizing a wire transfer. Every one of those scenarios now carries a question it didn't carry 2 years ago. Forensic experts do have tools to fight back. Spectral analysis lets trained examiners compare a questioned audio sample against a known reference, looking at frequency patterns, acoustic artifacts, the subtle fingerprint a human voice leaves that a clone might miss. Research published in Frontiers in Neuroscience is exploring deep learning methods that automate parts of this process. But that kind of analysis takes time, expertise, and access to clean reference samples. And phone calls make it harder. Every time audio passes through a compression codec, and VoIP calls pass through several, it strips away exactly the spectral details that detection models need. A deepfake that's easy to catch in a clean audio file becomes much harder to flag after it's bounced through a phone network. For investigators building a case, that means audio alone isn't enough. They need timestamps, device data, financial record S, call metadata, a whole chain of corroborating evidence. And for the rest of us, it means that feeling of certainty when you hear a familiar voice. That instinct is now a vulnerability, not a safeguard. A familiar voice used to be proof. Now it's a starting point. The same shift that already happened with images, where seeing is no longer believing, has arrived for audio. And most people and most systems haven't caught up. So what just happened in this story? Scammers are calling people, recording a few seconds of their voice, and using AI to build a near-perfect clone. Most humans can't tell the difference, and most organizations don't have the tools to catch it. Forensic detection exists, but it's specialized, slow, and phone compression works against it. Whether you're building a fraud case or just picking up an unknown number, the old rule, trust the voice you know, doesn't hold anymore. The full story's in the description if you want the deep dive.
Now you know something most people in this industry don't. Use it. And when you're ready to put it to work, caracomp.com. We'll see you tomorrow.